So, how did you overcome addiction and homelessness?
Well, a lot of people gave me a lot of chances, and I screwed all of them. And I found myself back on Skid Row in about 2014, 2015. I spent about a year on Skid Row that time, and just unbelievable mayhem. Yeah, just horrific homelessness, complete menace to society, criminal, just crimes, stealing, theft, robbing people, and incredible health consequences. And what eventually happened was, I would get arrested, but they'd hold me for a day, they'd hold me for 2 days. And finally, I was fortunate enough to get arrested for a while. I got assault with a deadly weapon. I was defending myself from getting mugged, which you're not allowed to do that in California. If someone mugs you and you try to defend yourself, you'll go to prison, apparently. And I didn't go to prison, but I fought a case. I fought an 18-month prison sentence. And I got sentenced to a 6-month violation in LA County Jail. And having to be in jail for that long, I physically withdrew from heroin and and cocaine. But it was really, I needed to get physically off of heroin, which gave me like a shot. I mean, if you don't break the chains of physical addiction, you don't have a shot. So I credit jail with doing that, and a lot of things. I learned about life in jail. I learned a lot of valuable lessons, but I didn't learn how to stay sober. So when I got out of jail in 2016, I've relapsed several times since then. I've relapsed 3 times. All 3 times were very short. I never got physically addicted to heroin again, but I did use drugs and destroy my life 3 times. So what finally got me to take this seriously and get sober was what I would describe as like cosmic consequences, like almost like spiritual levels of pain and suffering, and through the form of uh, well, first of all, one of these 1 day relapses, I woke up. I used a combination of meth, heroin, and cocaine, and blacked out, and woke up in Chinatown, downtown Los Angeles, in someone's apartment, in a bathtub, and it was full of blood, and I was missing part of my face. And I don't know what happened. I was blacked out. I must have gotten into a fight with somebody. Something happened. I irritated it myself. They ended up, a lot of it was removed, it was gone, and that was kind of the wake up call. So,
Jeez.
it something, because when I'm on drugs, like everything can be taken away from me and I'll still do drugs. So something like more than just a possession had to be taken away from me. So I lost part of my face. They rebuilt my face with plastic surgery. I was fortunate to land at a hospital that had a plastic surgery training department. They did it for free, and they did a pretty damn good job, and I'm very grateful. And I got high one more time, and about 8 months later or whatever, and I woke up and I was missing my toe. So
Like literally your toe? Like your whole toe?
well, I was missing a bone from my toe. So I, in a blackout, had lost a bone in my toe, and they had to cut my toe off at the hospital. And I thought, okay, that's 2 for 2. I've lost body parts getting high, and at the recommendation of someone, after these immense consequences, I went to a long term state rehab in California, and basically became open minded that I was wrong about everything. I mean, everything that I had tried to get sober, it just didn't work. I was wrong. I really just kind of like reset my whole psyche, and I went to this rehab, and where they did a lot of cognitive behavioral therapy, and obviously 12-step stuff. And I think the main point was that I was there for a long time. I made friends that I consider my family to this day. Um, and one of the most important parts I'll say is that they let me get a job at the rehab. So I was able to earn money, and I'm very fortunate. I have finished carpentry skills, so I got a job paying $25 an hour while living at the rehab, doing construction and finished carpentry, which boosted my self esteem. I mean, I got to develop a sense of self esteem And when I left that rehab, I had, you know, 4 grand, and went to a sober living. You know, someone gave me a clear path. I went from rehab to sober living, sharing a room with another man, you know, not the greatest living experience. And I gradually made it to renting a house with some sober friends and eventually my own apartment. I mean, it was a very graduated, it took me years to get my own apartment. And not because I couldn't afford it, but because I just didn't think it would be a healthy thing to do to live alone in an apartment and try to stay sober. But yeah, it was like an incremental way of like learning how to reintegrate into society and become a productive member of society. And I was heavily incentivized to stay sober given the consequences that I experienced when I am getting high.